All right, what's up, guys? Happy Friday. It is we got April 12th. Going to do a quick KPI update. Again, we started launching a brand new virtual market to find a home to fix and flip in on April 3rd. Here is our update. Total leads right now, or what did we get yesterday? Yesterday, I got 5 leads. Total leads to date, we're at 32. We've spent $3,500. Um, and our average cost per lead is $109. We've got 3 offers now. So one up, we made a new offer from last time. What am I looking for offer-wise? What's a good KPI that I would expect? I would expect a signed contract for every 2 offers. Where are we at on these and why don't I have one yet? Again, these don't happen right away. These are big emotional decisions, right? It's a lot to expect for someone to make those decisions super quick, unless it's like an out-of-state owner. They haven't seen the house in forever. It was like left to them. They didn't even know they owned it. There's no emotional attachment to it. But we're dealing with a lot of the leads that I have right now that we're making offers on. The sellers still live in these homes. They have to make decisions around where the hell am I going next. There's a lot more moving parts. So again, we found on average most of our contracts are 14 days from lead to actual signed contract. But there's real pain here. I'm pretty confident we'll probably get one of these signed soon. I think we have 2 divorce situations and we have one just frustrated flipper. We Again, sometimes these sellers have to come back to reality. Their head's so far in the clouds, but from what we've gathered, this flipper is on a hard money loan that is about to come due. They just haven't accepted their fate yet. So we're going to let time play out. Not really worried about it. We're not going to overpay for this thing. We can pay what we can pay. We, run the numbers through our calculator based on what we want to make, what our cost of capital is, what the projected revenue is, what we think it'll sell for, et cetera, average days on market, all the things that go into this. And our number is our number. This is a numbers game. No pun intended. But yeah, our calculator tells us what we can offer. That's it. That's all we can do. What else are we going to talk about today? This is kind of fun. I want to give you 5 tips on how to maximize profits in real estate flipping. Where do we start with that? So here's the thing, right? Real estate flipping is all fun and games when it's going well, right? But it is not always going well. There's a lot of ways things could go wrong. And I'm going to touch on those and kind of give you some tips on how to avoid them and make this super profitable and fun so you could keep doing it. The goal is to stay in business and do more and, yeah, that's it. So what are common challenges? I'd say for us, like if you were to ask me a year ago, would I be fixing and flipping real estate? I'd be like, hell no, not in this economy. Way too risky. I like stuff that's, I like not having exposure. I also didn't have private lenders at the time. The thought of using someone else, like hundreds of thousands of dollars of someone else's money was scary as hell. Trusting your own intuition and that you know what you're doing to get these things across the finish line is super scary. There's a lot of moving parts, but here's 5 tips so you can feel more confident and not have to worry about it. Number 1, I actually took notes today, believe it or not. Number 1, this is what we do. Stick to the median price point neighborhoods. Luxury is where you're going to get in trouble. When the economy moves, when you start getting out of the median price points, that's where there's the biggest fluctuations. And what's going to kill you most is those markets generally, like we just saw in COVID, those markets appreciated the most, which means they're probably going to have the biggest pullback. And you got to look at the avatar of who's your buyer at that price point. Your buyer at that price point is probably not your general, blue collar, working class, stable. It's like once you start getting into like executive management levels, they could get a full rug pull, lose their job, and that market gets hit, man. Prices pull back. If your buyers start, getting affected by their investments in the stock market or job loss or all these other things, Don't want to play there. Stick to median price. It is the most stable asset class. It's not going to pull back a lot. That's number one. Stay in median price point. Number two, find your own deals. Most fix and flippers don't do this. They go buy them from a wholesaler or a realtor brings them to them. Learn how to market and find your own deals. It'll save you the wholesale fee. It'll save you commissions, all that fun stuff on the front end. It'll allow you to negotiate your own price directly with the seller. Sometimes you could do some things creatively, which will save a ton of money. A strategy I personally love. It's been referred to as an ovation strategy, but the concept is such that instead of me going and raising capital, however I do it, whether it's bank funding, hard money, private money, my own capital, I make the seller my bank short term. So maybe they have an existing mortgage in place. I just say, hey, Mr. Seller, instead of me coming out of pocket for, let's just say purchase price is 200 grand. Instead of me going and taking 200 grand in debt and paying interest on that, why don't I just keep making the payments that you already have, and then we'll cash you out when I resell this, after I fix it up and resell it. If you're going to do that, caveat, make sure you get a professional transaction coordinator who is familiar with this. Your paperwork is what's going to protect you. I'm not going to go too deep down that rabbit hole, but paperwork is going to be super important. But the point there, find your own deals. Don't pay someone else to do it for you. That's a good way to save money. Control your cost of capital. So private money, hard money, your own personal capital, whatever. If you can negotiate cheaper rates, that goes a long way, especially when you're doing volume. I have lenders, I almost don't want to give away what I'm paying my lenders because I have a few that I am overpaying. What I will say though is I'd rather pay a higher annualized interest rate than I would pay points, because I generally try and get in we try and get into our projects. It's a speed game for us, right? So if, let's just say for simple math, I have a 12% annualized rate. So 1% a month I'm paying on that capital, but someone's charging me 3 points to get into it. And I exit that deal, contract to contract in close to close in 3 months. Well, if I annualize those 3 points, that means if everything lines up perfectly, I'm in and out of one deal, boom, on to the next. I turn that money 4 times over the year. That 3 points is now an additional 3 points times 4 times, 12 points. Essentially, I'm now paying 24% annualized on that capital. That stings, and it's all because of points. I'd rather give a flat 20. I don't really want to give a flat 20, but essentially, if I know that I have the volume to keep up with that, and I'm going to turn that money, frequently like that, I'd rather not have the points. I'd rather offer a higher annualized interest rate. I also prefer annualized rates to flat rates. So, because on a flat rate, what is my incentive to exit the property quicker? On an annualized rate, I want to exit it quicker because my costs go up the longer I'm holding it. But control your capital costs. This is a big one. Don't over renovate. Now, how do you know what over renovating means? And why does this affect you, right? It's going to affect you on how much capital you have to borrow, so your interest rates. It's going to affect you on your time frame, being in the project and holding it. The more renovation you're going to do, the longer time frame you're in it, which more cost of capital. And also, you may not get that money back, right? Don't guess. And this brings us to my 5th point, is use a professional realtor. I know as investors, and I'm a realtor myself, but we like to talk a lot of shit about working with realtors, but a realtor is going to be your best asset in renovating. Here's how I work with realtors. When we go into the project, I go into it reverse engineering from, hey, realtor, where do you want to sell this thing? Assuming my goal is to get it in contract in a week. I'm never trying to hit it out of the park on one deal. I like just rinse and repeat, put a good product out there into the market at a good price that the public wants, and on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. Why? Because people do business with people that are doing business, right? I want word to spread that I'm easy to work with. I want buyers talking. I want sellers talking. I want everyone knowing that Dave just turns and burns deals. If you ever get a chance to work with him, work with Dave. He's awesome, super easy, professional. So, never try and hit it out of the park on one deal. It's a scarcity mindset that will come back to bite you in the ass. You leverage your professional realtor. Let them tell you what you shouldn't do on the property. If they tell you need to stage, plan on staging it. Factor that into your budget. If they tell you leave the kitchen okay, don't do it. If they, leave the kitchen, as it is. If they tell you, hey, we're gonna have to do hardwood here, 3-inch wide. That's what this market dictates. Otherwise, you're leaving money on the table. Don't go put in the laminate. So leverage your realtor. Let them use their professional expertise. That's it, guys. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment, follow. I'm going to be doing these Monday to Friday. I'm learning, so bear with me. But hopefully that helps you guys save some money if you're getting into fix and flipping. Have an awesome weekend, and be back Monday. Hopefully we'll have a contract.